Hello there, and welcome to my first DBD video. I play DBD quite frequently. I'm a killer main, and today I thought it would be fun to rank every killer based on how fun they are to play, in my opinion. There's just one killer I'm gonna put somewhere. I'll explain it when we get to him. So these killers are in a random order, and I'm going to be putting them in these tiers, whether I find them extremely fun to play, extremely boring, or in between. And I'd love to hear your opinions of the killers in the comments. As you can probably tell, I'm a good guy main, and I'll explain why later in the video. So starting off with Trapper. I think Trapper is very fun to play. I don't know if I'll put him in very fun or fun. The setup you can do with Trapper is very fun, and sometimes it can be rewarding, sometimes it isn't. But it is one of the best feelings in this game when you place down a smart trap and it traps a survivor. It feels amazing. Now, yes, Trapper is very inconsistent, and I lose a lot of games with him. Skill issue mainly, but yeah. But that doesn't mean I don't find him fun to play. I very rarely get angry with Trapper, because I go in knowing that there's a high chance I can lose. And when I do win because of great trap placement, it feels very rewarding. So I'm gonna put him in. I'm gonna put him in very fun. This list might be have most of the killers up here, because I main good guy, but I play most killers. So yeah. Now moving on to the Plague. The Plague, I don't know. The Plague's a weird one. I'm not very good with Plague. But personally, I feel like there's a lot to do with Plague. You can play the infecting style. You can play with mainly Corrupt Purge. You can have add-ons to increase that. I like Plague's add-ons. Her add-ons do change how you play her quite a lot. But I feel like unless you get a cool flick with the Corrupt Purge or something, she's just an M1 killer who basically has everyone exposed the entire game. That's basically all this killer is. It's I don't know. I think I'm gonna put them personally in okay. It's not a killer that I'm crazily happy to play with, but it's not a killer I get bored with or anything. Next up, we have Artist, and I find Artist to be very fun. Getting a shot with your birds through a wall and injuring a survivor or just hitting them feels incredibly satisfying, and especially when you damage them from across the map, it feels amazing. And Artist, when I play Artist, she's one of the most consistent killers. I get lots of kills with her very consistently. And when I can't speak, sorry. When playing Survivor, she's not the most fun to verse, but looping and playing as the Artist while looping as Survivor is quite fun, I guess. So I'm putting her in very fun. I think she's great. I'm not putting them in any order, by the way. I'm just putting them on the tiers. Next up, we have Xenomorph, and when he first came out, I thought, oh my god, this killer's so amazing, I might main him. But I think that was just because he was new. Now that that's kind of died off, he's alright. He's not the most crazy killer to play. It's mainly just it's a killer that's in chase quite a lot when I play him, but the tail, this is a massive skill issue. I'm awful with the tail, and so I can't hit anyone with the tail. I'm so bad with it. So I'm putting him in okay personally. But if I could actually hit with the tail, if I practice Xenomorph more, he could probably move up to fun. But right now, I'm gonna put him in okay. Do I even need to explain this? And this isn't me being like, oh, School Merchant bad. It's not that. It's not because of previous biases or anything. It's just because she's boring to play. School Merchant is boring. You place a drone on a loot, they either leave it or they get injured and you down them. You can place them on gens so they can do that. Yes, she's consistent. She gets a lot of kills, but that doesn't mean it's fun. Like, Artist is fun to play and is consistent. This is just a boring killer to play and is inconsistent. I would love to talk to any school merchant main and just, like, why would you play this killer? It's such a boring killer to play, in my opinion. Then we have Pig. I think Pig feels very weird to play without combat straps and the grease add-on. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's the grease one. It's the yellow one. With those add-ons, she feels quite fun because of the fact that she can crouch at a decent speed. Without them, crouching feels pretty awful. And the traps, they're okay actually. Yes, you don't get many kills with them, and it's satisfying when you do. But it's not always about just getting the kills. It just feels good to place them on the survivor and see them run around and not do gens. It gives you a lot of time. But she's not crazy. I'm gonna put her. Oh, not there. I'm gonna put her in fun. Then we have Wraith. To be honest, I'm not a great fan of Wraith. He's just, you use your bell to walk fast around the map. When you see a survivor, you bong your bell and you sprint towards them and either hit them or they vault somewhere. You can block the vaults and things with yourself while you're cloaked. I mean, that's basically it. There's not really much to do with Wraith other than that. So for that, I'm going to put him in boring. It's not a killer I'm very happy to play, but he doesn't make me like just sleep like Skull Merchant. Then we have Ghostface, who I don't know if this is controversial or not, but I'm also putting him in boring. I'm not a very good fan of Ghostface. I think it's just boring. Like, you're just crouching around, you see a survivor, you stare at them a bit, and then you expose them and you down them. There's another killer who does something very similar, but I think does it in a much more fun and interesting way. And Ghostface's add-ons don't really... Yes, his add-ons are good, but they don't really change how you play him. Like, there's killers later on that I think have some very fun and gimmicky add-ons, but Ghostface's add-ons are just okay. So, yeah. Clown. Clown is a killer that I used to have a bias on. In fact, let me explain that. When I started playing this game, I had a bias on some killers. When I first started... Oh. I don't know what I just clicked there. I'm hoping it didn't get rid of all of it. Thank God. Okay, sorry about that. When I started playing this game, I had a bias on... Oh, they've all reset. That's annoying. Oh well, we'll just carry on. Never mind. Ignore that. That means nothing. I had a bias on Legion to start with, but that was just because I was bad. I was using my frenzy to just stab. Then I had a bias on, I think it was Hag, and I can't even remember why. Then it was Trickster, and then I had a bias on Clown recently. That bias has gone away now. I'm fine with playing Clown now. I think Clown's pretty fun to play actually. He's quite fun in loops, and he's interesting. But again, sorry about that, we're just going to have to go in order now, so it's going to be a little bit more boring, but it is what it is. So then we got Hillbilly. I think we all know where this is going. Not in Good Guy, what? There we go. Very fun. This killer's really fun to play. Before the rework, he was like probably being okay or something. It felt really clunky to play him. But now, with his increased speed with the overdrive, it feels incredible to play Hillbilly. And yes, he's still difficult to play, and I can't do very much flicks with him. But the speed that you get, it just feels way cleaner now. And the fact that I don't need to worry about using my chainsaw too much is a lot better, in my opinion. So that's my opinion on Hillbilly. Next up we have Nurse, and I think Nurse is probably the killer I have the most bias to not liking. I'm gonna put her in boring. I'm not a fan of Nurse. But it's not because her power's boring, it's just because I'm bad with it. But like, not just like bad like Xenomorph bad. Like, I am probably, Nurse is probably my worst killer. I am horrendous with Nurse. I can't blink. I have to use the Plaid Flannel add-on nearly all the time. If you don't know, that's the one that shows you where she's gonna blink. And she feels clunky to me. I don't really like playing Nurse. I know she has the potential to be amazing, but I'm not a fan of her, to be honest. Then we have Myers, who's going in there. Without add-ons, Myers feels fun. With add-ons, Myers feels amazing, because his add-ons change him completely. Scratch Mirror is fun, Vanity Mirror is fun, Mores are fun, Infinite Tier 3 is fun, all of it is fun. Yes, I know that some of it is a bit broken and busted, but we're not going to worry about that right now, until they're evidently nerfed. We're not going to worry about that, and I think Myers is incredibly fun to play. Just the fact, like, Ghostface is just like, he's a more powerful Myers, but he's a less fun Myers, in my opinion. So yeah. Then we've got Hag, and Hag is, she's fun to play. She's not the worst killer to play, I don't think. Her setup feels like Trapper, but less rewarding. Yes, you can get more hits, and she's more consistent than Trapper. But I don't know what it is, but getting a trap as Trapper versus getting a trap as Hag feels so much more satisfying. It's probably because Hag, like nearly every game, you're guaranteed to have your traps work and get injures, whereas Trapper, you're not, so it feels more satisfying to play Trapper. So yeah, she's basically just a less satisfying Trapper for me, I think. But it doesn't mean she's not fun to play. Doctor, I'm gonna put Doctor in okay. He's alright. It's not Killer Eye. I'm so amazingly happy to play. But you know, you just go to a loop, you shock, and eventually you catch up to them, get hit. But by the time they're doing that, they're getting gens done, and yeah, it feels a little bit inconsistent. It's like a power where, for example, Chucky, which I'll explain to you later. You know, every 15-20 seconds, whatever his cooldown is, I can normally get hit because I practice him a lot. With Doctor, it's like the same thing, but every 30 or so seconds, because obviously you slow down when you're using your shock therapy. I do like that he can track survivors quite simply. That's a fun thing about Doctor. But yeah, that's really it. There's not really much to him. Huntress, it's just a bit obvious, isn't it? Huntress is obviously going to go in very fun. Getting cross maps is very fun, even though it's very rare, because nearly every map in the game is just impossible to get cross maps on these days. But she's got a lot of interesting add-ons that change her, how you play her, which I like as well. That's what drives a killer for me. An interesting power, but also interesting add-ons that change them. And I think Huntress has that a lot. And so, yeah. Next up we have Bubba. And I recently played a Bubba match. I don't play Bubba a lot. I haven't played him in a few months until the recent match I just had. And it was against a full kitted out Swift. And so I don't know if that's gonna bias my opinion of it. He's okay. He feels like a less satisfying hillbilly. Plus, again, it's just a skill issue on my part. I can't loop for the life of me while using the chainsaw. I'm like focusing on the chainsaw charges, trying to get them right, and I can't loop. I can't loop for the life of me. I keep bumping into things, which, you know, makes him feel worse. But again, that's not Cannibal's fault. That's my fault. So yeah, Freddy, I'm gonna put in fun, but I don't know what it is with Freddy. It's not that his power is fun. It's really strange. Honestly, I'm not even joking. Freddy's weapon might be what drives him up so much, because obviously your weapon is what, you know, your C most of the match, and I'm not ranking Freddy high because of his weapon, but that might be why he's this high, to be honest. his power's not amazingly fun to play. It's just because he's Freddy. And I guess the dream world, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what makes Freddy so fun to me, but he's fun for some reason. It's really weird. So yeah. Next up, we've got Spirit, who I'm gonna put in boring. And the reason for that is because I don't play it with headphones, and so it's really annoying playing Spirit without headphones, because you can hear their footsteps and their grunts of pain, but you don't know where it is. So you just phase walk, hear it, stop, swing, and they're not there. They're like behind you or something. It's annoying to play, and she's one of my most inconsistent killers, just because I'm bad at her. So yeah. Then we have Legion, who is going in fun. It's just fun going around hitting everyone, and with his speed as well, it makes it interesting. There's also a few nice add-on builds that you can do with him. You can do the iridescent button one. You can do the iridescent tape thing. I don't know what it's called. It's this other iridescent add-on. You can do a fun build with the etched ruler and the sunglasses. The sunglasses make it so you can see survivors or mending within 24 meters of you, and the etched ruler makes it so when you hit them with Feral Frenzy, they are oblivious for 60 seconds. So you can pretend to run away, turn off Feral Frenzy, you'll see them mending, and then you can zoom around a corner and hit them. That's quite fun. So there's a few builds you can do with Legion, so that's why I like Legion. Next up, we have Demogorgon. And I'm not sure with Demogorgon. I think I'm going to put him in fun, but it's on the brink of very fun. Demogorgon, see, he would be in very fun because I find his shred extremely fun to use. And I think this is literally just a product of unluck with Demogorgon. But every single time I play Demogorgon, it's against a Swift or a bully squad or something along the lines of that. And obviously that's not Demo's fault, but that just drives him down for me, because I'm like, ooh, should I play Demo? No, because I'll get a Swift for some reason. I don't know what it is. Demo's energy just attracts bullies to your area. So yeah. Then we have Oni, who again is going in boring. But again, it's not because his power is boring, it's just because I'm bad with it. In fact, these three killers, well no, maybe not Spirit, but these two killers, Nurse and Oni, they're just down here because I'm bad with them. I don't know how to flick with Oni. I'm just bad with his Demon Dash. The low sensitivity hurts him a lot, personally. But obviously don't change it, because it's fair, I'm just bad with it. So that's my opinion on Oni. Next up, we have the Death Slinger, who is okay to play. I don't play many first-person shooters. Sometimes I dabble in like Fortnite and stuff, but I don't really play it very much. So I'm not very good at those games, and so that drives my skill down on Death Slinger quite significantly. But it's not as fun or unfun to play. Sometimes you can hit some really sick shots, and his add-ons boost him a bit. Iridescent Coin's fun to use. And the reload add-ons feel very, very nice to use. So that's all I can really say about Death Slinger, to be honest. Next up, we have Pyramid Head, and I think I'm going to put Pyramid Head in fun. He's a killer where if you use your Punishment of the Damned well, he feels very, very great to play. The problem is his add-ons. Like, for example, if we take a random killer, like, let's have a look. I don't know, Freddy. Let's take Freddy. If you removed all his add-ons and made them all, like, useless or something, you'd get quite bored. I'd get quite bored of Freddy quite quickly, I think, because his power's not very interesting. It's the same with Pyramid Head. His power is really fun to play, but that's it. His add-ons, the only good ones are like the range add-ons, and that's basically it. All his other add-ons are awful. and sometimes practically useless, like the Obsidian Goblet, which is awful. And so that's the issue with Pyramid Head. If they change these add-ons to make them more interesting, instantly probably goes to very fun. So yeah. And speaking of very fun, we have Blight. I think most people like playing Blight, I'd assume. Just the fact that he's really fast really boosts him, in my opinion. You can just go sprinting around the map. It feels really fun. And especially when you can, like, do a cool flick with Blight. It's super rare because I'm awful at Blight. But I know how to do them. And it feels really satisfying when you do it. So yeah, that's my opinion on Blight. Twins. I think we're gonna put Twins in okay. And the reason for that is, when people say that Twins you have to slug, they're not lying. It's like, I think it might be impossible to play Twins without slugging, because obviously when you down someone with Victor, technically you're slugging them, because you have to go back to Charlotte and then you have to walk over and pick them up. And if someone comes to try and pick them up, you will probably have to switch back to Victor and try and down them. So technically you're slugging. So that's the only problem with Twins. The upcoming rework to Twins looks a bit busted, and that might change my opinion on her. But as we stand right now, she's okay. Trickster, he's fun. He's got a lot of add-ons that make him even more fun. Like what's it called? I think it's called Trick Blades. The ones that make the blades bouncy. He's got the iridescent photo card, which makes him faster per knife. Yeah, he's got a lot of add-ons that change the way you play him, which make him more fun. And just hitting the knives just feels really nice, personally. It doesn't feel as great as hitting a Deathslinger shot or hitting a Huntress hatchet, but it feels satisfying. Pardon me. Next up, we have the Nemesis, who's going up there. Nemesis is incredibly fun to play. His tentacle feels super fair and super nice, but the main thing that drives him up is the zombies. Sometimes they're useless, and yeah, that's kind of it. You just whine at them going, "Zombies, what are you doing?" Sometimes they can get stuck in the funniest places, and then sometimes they are just the funniest things and just win the game for you. I've had games where the zombies win the game for me. They get like 2 downs. It's rare, but it is funny when it happens. So that's why I think Nemesis is fine. Cenobite is also very fun to play. Finding the box at the start of the game, or basically anywhere, feels really satisfying. His add-ons really change how you play him. Engineer's Fang is really stupid. Coming from a killer main, I'm a killer main, and I think Engineer's Fang should be nerfed, because I think it's the most OP add-on in the game. It is ridiculously overpowered. But he's got a lot of add-ons, especially his purple and iridescence, that change how you play him. I do think that his greens, yellows, and commons are just kind of like mediocre. They're like Pyramid Head add-ons that just feel boring to use. But the purples and iridescence save him there. His power with the chains feels really good to hit, because I'm not very good with Pinhead, so I miss quite a lot. So yeah, that's my opinion on Pinhead. Next up we have Sadako, who feels fun to play. Most of the time I just teleport around the map and try and condemn survivors. Obviously that playstyle has been nerfed quite hard, but I still try and do it. Getting a survivor condemned and using inexplorable stare on them feels extremely satisfying to do. But other than that, she's not really got much going for her, which is why she's not in very fun. She's just a normal M1 killer with some undetectable. She just feels like a better Wraith, really. a more interesting Wraith. And so yeah. Next up we have Dredge, who was my former main before Chucky. And he's okay. He's dropped quite a lot for me, due to the fact that he's so inconsistent. With him, you can either get games where you absolutely destroy, or games where every survivor W keys and just melts you, and it feels awful to play that when that happens. And if they do W key, you don't have a looping ability. The lockers feel inconsistent sometimes. On some maps, like the Garden of Joy, where there's like no lockers in the middle, it feels very annoying to play a Dredge. And so yeah, that's my opinion on Dredge. Do we even need to talk about why Wesker's fun? Wesker's ridiculously fun. Getting a virulent bound hit in a chase feels amazing. And he's balanced as well. I guess his add-ons aren't crazy, but he does have some fun ones, like the Iridescent Ouroboros Vial. In fact, both of his Iridescents are quite fun to use. So yeah, that's my opinion on Wesker. I think he's stupid fun. Knight. What do I say about Knight? I'm putting him in fun. His guards, again, just like, who was it? Just like Dredge, are very inconsistent. Sometimes they can be amazing, and sometimes they can be absolutely horrendous. But just like Nemesis zombies, they're always funny. If they get hit, that's funny. If they get stuck on something or do something ridiculously stupid, that's funny. So anything the guards do is normally funny. But the fact that they're pretty awful in chase, which is their power, is what drives him to not being very fun. Singularity, and also another one that I might have made my main if I played him a bit more, but he's dropped down to okay again. And I don't really know why, to be honest. He's just kind of dropped for me. I just stopped having more fun with him. Maybe it's because you have to think so much with him. Anytime in a chase with Singularity, my brain just explodes because there's so much to think about. It's ridiculous. He's not like Good Guy, who's really simple to play, and it's a fun power. It's a fun power, but you have to think constantly, and I don't really like that. And finally, before we talk about Good Guy, we have the Unknown, who is going in very fun as well. Unknown is really fun to play. There's little holes in some maps where you can hit a UVX through. There's walls where you can hit through the wall and hit someone with UVX. Getting snipes with the Unknown feels amazing. His teleport feels fair, balanced, and quite good as well. Yeah, I think Behavior really smashed it with the Unknown, to be honest. And finally, we have my main, the Good Guy, or Chucky, who I think is the most fun killer to play in the game. He has a super simple power that is extremely busted if you play well with it. The fact that you can vault through window, I don't know why, but anytime I charge Slice and Dice, start sprinting, and then scamper through a window while sprinting, survivors just lose their minds with the fact that I can still sprint at them after I'm done with the scamper. They just completely forget it for some reason, and I'm not sure why. I had a survivor recently who started flashlight clicking me as I was scampering through a pallet that I charged through, and she didn't realise that I could still charge at her. There's so many mind games you can do with Chucky due to the fact that he's small. He's got built-in undetectable as well, which can let you get grabs. You can do basically anything with Chucky. He's got voice lines as well, which are very, I don't know the word, but expressive, that was the word I was looking for. Chucky's, in my opinion, is just amazing to play, and he's definitely the best killer. And that concludes my tier list on every killer in Dead by Daylight, based on how fun they are to play. Due to the fact that I'm a killer main, I will most likely do more rankings of the killers, whether or not it will be on what perks they have, or add-ons they have, or whatever. It'll be on something. But this, I thought, was a great start just to introduce to people who watch the video the fact that I play DBD. And something else I'd like to know, if anyone knows how to get Xbox clips to PC, I would appreciate that in the comments, because then I can actually show my gameplay, and that would be great. So yeah. Oh, not that, sorry. Also something else. If you know how to play games that you have on your Xbox on PC, also tell me that, because that would make it way easier. But I appreciate you. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any disagreements or queries or anything, tell me that in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions. And thank you very much for watching.